The name of the story is Greedy Dog. Once upon a time, there was a stray dog who was roaming about in search of food. He moved around a lot, but he did not find anything to eat. Rambling about, he came to a butcher's shop. There, to his surprise, he saw a bone which was just laying outside the shop. Dog was very happy, and he thought to himself,
Now I have something to eat. Oh, such a nice bone. Oh, I'm going to have good time now.
So he took that bone, and there was a little meat on it. So he took up the bone and ran away. He wanted to find a safe place to enjoy that bone and the little meat that was on that bone. He found a place under the tree. He started chewing the bone. He finished up all the meat that was there on the bone, and what all left was just the bare bone in the dog's mouth. Soon, he became a little thirsty. But at the same time, he did not want to let go the bone from his mouth. With the bone in the mouth, dog came to that stream, and he actually climbed up on a bridge over it. The dog decided to just lean down and drink some water, and while doing so, he saw his reflection in the water. He saw that there was another dog in the stream, and he saw that there was another bone in that dog's mouth. This dog got greedy and thought to himself,
I want that bone. I want that bone. I want that bone.
As soon as he opened the mouth to bark and to grab that bone in the stream, the bone which was there in his mouth fell down in the stream. Immediately as the bone fell down, the reflection in the stream got washed away. And that is when this dog realized he lost the bone he had in his mouth too. By realizing that, dog felt very sad. But it was in vain, because he had already lost the bone. So, the moral of the story is, don't be greedy for the things you don't have, and take care of the things which you already have.
The name of the story is Sick Lion and Clever Fox.
Once upon a time, there was a forest. There was a lion living in the forest. When he was young, he would kill his prey whenever he was hungry. But after a few years, that lion had grown old, and he could no longer kill his own prey. So he started starving. So he thought to himself one day,
Oh, I have gone so old that I cannot kill my own prey. What I can do now? What should I do for me to get my food?
Then all of a sudden, he thought of an idea. He thought of resorting to cunning and lie. So, he would pretend to be ill and sit in front of his cave and tell every animal that he is sick and they should come and visit him and inquire about his health. The lion put a wicked plan into practice, and animals actually started visiting the lion. He would welcome all of them and would thank them for coming initially. He would tell the animals,
Oh, thank you, my friend, that you came to check my health. But I am so sick and old that I cannot even lift my paw. Can you help me and go inside the cave and bring my medicine?
so the animal who would visit him would get into his cave. As soon as animal is inside his cave, lion will go inside and kill that animal, and he would eat that animal as his food. Again next day, he would do the same thing. He would come out, sit in front of his cave, waiting for the next animal. Day by day, every animal that would come and pay visit to this lion started disappearing from the forest. There was a clever fox. He realized that his friends who paid visit to the lion never came back. So he thought to himself,
What this lion is doing? I must see, and I must check it out. What's the matter here?
So he went and paid visit to this lion. As usual, this lion was waiting for his next prey. He saw this fox and he invited him over. He said,
Oh, dear fox, so nice of you to have come and paid visit to me. Oh, I am so sick and old. Can you do me a favor, please?
the fox replied to him,
Yes, Mr. Lion. I can definitely help you. What do you want me to do?
The lion said,
Oh, my dear fox, I have become so sick that I cannot even get up from here. Can you please go inside my cave and bring me my medicines?
Fox thought to himself, yes, this would be his trap. Then he looked around the cave. He saw that there was the footmarks of animals only going inside the cave. He never saw any footmark which is showing that any animal has come out of the cave. He smartly understood the move and the intention of this lion and said to him, Oh, my friend lion, how is it that I can only see the footprints of my friend animals going inside your cave and not coming out? If everybody who came to you is inside the cave? Oh, I don't believe that. At that time, Lion realized that Fox has understood his evil intentions. And then he tried to defend himself, saying,
Oh, no, Fox. I have removed all those marks from the ground.
But this explanation was in vain. Fox could realize that Lion was telling a lie. So he told the Lion, Oh, my dear friend Lion, I know you're lying, and I know that you have killed all my fellow animals who paid visit to you. Now this will not happen anymore. I will go to the jungle and alarm everybody so that nobody will come to you. Remember, the lie would not long for long time. That way, Fox went back to the jungle and told everybody that they should not visit the lion if they love their life. Otherwise, lion would just kill them with his lie. From that day onwards, no animal paid visit to the lion, and lion actually starved to death. Moral of the story is, never lie to people for your selfish motives. Otherwise, in the end, you will be left alone with your misery.
The name of the story is Two Frogs in the Buttermilk.
Once upon a time, there was a village. In the village, there was a milkman's house. That milkman would culture his milk every day into the curd, then into the buttermilk, and from the buttermilk, he would take away butter every day. One day, he left the buttermilk in a pot and left for some work. There were two frogs in the near about garden who were just moving around in the garden, and from the window they came into the house. Those two frogs saw this buttermilk pot and thought that it would be food in it. So they jumped in the pot. In the pot, they found themselves swimming in the buttermilk. Both of them were struggling very hard to come out of this buttermilk pot, but it was in vain. One of the frogs lost all its hopes, said to himself,
Oh, I am so tired of swimming endlessly in this buttermilk. I don't think I am ever going to get out of this. I think I am just going to die here. Why would I even try if I am going to die?
So he stopped swimming and trying to come out of the pot. That frog drowned in the buttermilk. But the other frog refused to give up. He kept on moving, he kept on swimming, he kept on moving around and struggling. Because of all this activity of this frog, the buttermilk started getting churned. and it led to the creation of butter in that buttermilk. That butter, it started floating on the buttermilk. That is what this another frog saw, and he jumped on that butter and out of the pot. That way, because of his struggle and continuous effort, he was able to save his life. Moral of the story: never give up your effort and fight up to the last minute, and you will always succeed and achieve your goal.
The name of this story is The Magic Pot. Once upon a time, there lived a farmer in the village. He used to go to his farm every day and do his farming activities. One day, he was digging the farm to prepare it for sowing the seeds for coming monsoon. All of a sudden, he found a big pot in the farm. He took the pot out and he wondered what that pot will be useful for. So he just kept that pot aside and started his usual activities again. During the lunch time, he just kept his spade in that pot while he was eating. When the farmer finished his lunch, he saw to his surprise that his spade was multiplied to 100 spades in that pot. He was really surprised. He thought to himself,
"Oh, I did not bring 100 spades. I just brought only one spade. How come the one spade became 100 spades? I don't understand."
Then he thought this must be something to do with the pot. So he took away those 100 spades and took up a stone from nearby and put that stone in that pot. And then when he looked inside the pot, instead of a stone that he put in, there were 100 stones lying there. That is when he realized that the pot was magical. So he brought the pot back home and kept it in secret. From that day on, he used the pot to satisfy his needs. So, whenever he wanted a cloth, he will put a piece of cloth and he will get cloth enough for him to make his clothes. Whenever he was hungry, he would put a fruit in that pot and he would get 100 fruits back from the pot. That way, gradually, he started becoming rich. But that farmer was an honest farmer. He never used the magic of the pot for satisfying his greed. He was not a greedy farmer. However, his neighbor noticed that this farmer is getting richer and richer every day. So, he tried to find out the secret of his richness. So, one day, neighbor stood outside his window, peeping into the house of this farmer to find out what this farmer is doing. That time, farmer kept a little spoon of milk inside the pot, and he took out a liter of milk from the pot. Now I understand. said the neighbor. He said that magical pot is giving him all the richness. So, this wicked neighbor, envious neighbor, decided to steal this pot from this farmer. That night itself, he stole that pot from the farmer's house and took it back home to his own house. He was very eager to find out the magic of the pot. But before that, he just wanted to find out if there is anything inside the pot. So he put his hand in the pot, but obviously there was nothing in the pot. But to his surprise, when he took out his hand, he realized that now he has 100 hands to his bodies. And now he was really scared because he did not know how to bring those 100 things back to one again. So next day, as he came out of the house, the people were really scared and they thought he is some kind of demon with 100 hands on one side and one hand on other. So the other villagers started stoning him and they drove him away. When this farmer saw all this happening, he realized that the neighbor must have stolen the pot from him and must have put in his hands into it. So, the moral of the story is, do not be envious of anyone and never ever steal anything from anyone.
The name of the story is Fisherman's Flute. Once upon a time, there was a fisherman. He was very good in playing the bamboo flute. He would sit beside the bank of the pond and play his flute very sweetly. When he played his flute, even the animals gathered around him to hear the sweet notes coming out of his flute. One day, fisherman thought to himself,
Oh, if I can make the animals come around due to my sweet flute playing, why don't I try the same magic on the fish?
so he decided that he would catch the fish with his sweet flute. So, one day, he sat near the pond again and played his sweet flute for the fish. He played for a long time. He played very sweetly, but all of his efforts were in vain because no fish came even near to the fisherman. At last, he got bored, and then he thought to himself,
Let me try my old way.
so he threw the net in the pond, and in few minutes he could gather a good amount of fish in his net. That is when the fisherman realized that he has to use right tools for right work. He used music to gather the fish, which really did not work. But the minute he used the net, the heap of fish was his. So the moral of the story: use right tools for right work.
The name of the story is Effect of True Care. Once upon a time, there was a village. In that village, there lived a farmer called Mahadu. Mahadu had a cow which gave him lots of milk. He sold that milk and he became quite rich. Unfortunately, once that cow fell ill and she stopped giving milk to Mahadu. Mahadu thought that the cow will never recover from her illness and he left her in the dense forest. Cow, because of her nature, returned back to Mahadu's place. But then Mahadu drove her away by giving her severe beating. The cow was sad. She was wandering around in the village. By then, Chandu, another farmer in that village, saw this cow. When he saw that cow, he realized that she was beaten and driven away by somebody. Chandu brought that cow to his home and gave her food and the medicines for her wounds. Gradually, that cow started recovering. Chandu took good care of that cow, and so she became healthy again. After a few days, that cow gave birth to a beautiful calf. And as she gave birth to that calf, she started giving milk again. Chandu, after keeping enough milk for the calf, started selling the remaining milk in the market. That way, he started getting some money as well. As the days passed, he kept on selling milk in the market and he also became rich. Soon, Mahadu realized that Chandu was making money from the cow that he drove away. So, he came back to Chandu and said,
Oh Chandu, you know, this is my cow. It was with me for a while. So give that back to me.
On that, Chandu said,
Oh Mahadu, I know that you drove this cow away after beating her severely. I was the one who brought her back, gave her food, gave her love, gave her care, and now she is healthy. You want my cow back? No, I'm not going to give it to you.
Mahadu took this case to the Gram Panchayat of that village. The judges of the Panchayat called in for both Mahadu and Chandu. And also they told Chandu to bring the cow along. As Mahadu and Chandu stood in front of the Panchayat, the judges told that it is very difficult to decide on this case because technically both were the owners of the cow. So they decided on a trick. They said, let that cow decide whom she wants to be with. So they made Chandu and Mahadu stand a little far from each other and they released the cow from the rope. As the cow was released, she started going to Chandu. And as she reached out to Chandu, she started licking his hand and his feet. It appeared to all the villagers and the judges that she was very fond of Chandu. It was quite obvious then that the cow has to stay with Chandu because Chandu was the one who cared for her. So, the moral of the story is, if you give care and love to others, it will always come back to you.
The name of the story is Clever Bat. Once upon a time, there lived a bat. It would hang up from the tree upside down all day long and move around in the night to find its prey. One day, the bat fell down from the tree and it was caught by a weasel. The weasel was just going to kill it when the bat begged to the weasel,
Spare me, weasel. Spare me, weasel. Don't kill me, please.
Why? Why after all I will leave you and not kill you? You are my prey. I never leave the small animals because I eat them.
The bat was very clever. With its presence of mind, it said to the weasel,
You see, weasel, I am not animal. I have wings. I am a bird. I am a bird. And you don't eat birds.
Weasel thought to himself,
That is true. I don't eat birds. Okay, I'm going to let you go.
and that way the weasel let the bat go. A few days later, bat fell down again on the ground, and this time it was caught by the dog. And now dog was going to kill it. Again, the clever bat begged the dog,
Oh dog, leave me please. Oh dog, please leave me.
Why would I leave you? I like to kill the birds. I like to kill the flying birds. The bat, very clever, used its presence of mind and begged to the dog,
You see, dog, I'm no bird. I'm no bird. I'm animal. I'm animal.
How come you're an animal?
Oh, see, because I don't lay eggs. I don't lay eggs.
That is true. So you are not a bird. Okay, I'll let you go.
so the dog let bat go. That way, very cleverly, bat got free from both the weasel and the dog because of the presence of mind that it used at the time of emergency. So, the moral of the story is, never lose your calm and use your presence of mind in the face of difficulty. The name of the story is The Wolf and the Crane. Once upon a time, in a jungle, there lived a wolf. He was lucky once to get hold of a nice dinner. He sat in his place and started to eat. Although there was a lot of food, he did not want to share the food with anyone else. He was a very selfish wolf. So as he was eating so hurriedly that a small piece of bone got stuck in his throat. He tried a lot. He gargled hard. He could not swallow the bone, or he could not spit it out. It was very awkward and it was itching his throat all the time. More he tried to get the bone out, more and more it got stuck. So now he got scared and started thinking to himself,
This bone is stuck in my throat. How am I going to take it out? I cannot even breathe.
Suddenly, he remembered that his friend Crane, who lived just nearby, could help him. He thought to himself,
My friend Crane has a long neck and the beak. I think he can take out that bone from my throat.
so he went to the crane and said,
Oh, my friend, I have a bone stuck in my throat. Can you please take it out? I will be so obliged. I'll be so thankful to you.
So the crane put his neck into the throat of the wolf and took the bone out. Then Crane said to the wolf,
Oh, my friend, now I helped you, didn't I? So now can you share a little food of yours with me?
As you know, the wolf was very selfish. He did not want to share his food. So he came out with an argument and he said to the crane,
Oh, Crane, just be thankful that I did not eat you alive when you put your neck into my mouth. I could have just eaten you alive with your neck in my mouth. So just thank me that I did not eat you.
The crane was very disappointed and he said to the wolf,
Oh, wolf, this is not how the friendship is fulfilled. If you are so selfish, we cannot have the friendship. So, from today onwards, I will not be your friend at all.
From that day onwards, because of the selfishness of the wolf, he lost his long-time friend, the crane. Moral of the story is, you should not be too selfish to lose friend, and you never disappoint anyone who has helped you in your difficulty.
The name of the story is The Clever Fox and the Foolish Goat.
Once upon a time, in a forest, there was a fox who was roaming in the dark. Unfortunately, he did not see a deep well in the forest and fell into it. He could not come out of the well, although he tried his level best. But alas, he could not manage to come out. So he had to remain in the well for all of the night. He was waiting for somebody to help him. He heard an elephant passing by. He called that elephant and said, "Oh, my elephant friend, please help me, please." Elephant came to the well and saw that the fox is inside the well. Elephant said,
Oh fox, how I can help you?
Fox said, Oh my elephant friend, if you could lower your trunk so that I can catch it and come out. Elephant tried to lower his trunk, but it could not reach the fox. So unfortunately, he had to go. Then came a giraffe. Fox asked the giraffe, Oh, my friend giraffe, I'm so much in trouble. Can you help me come out of this well? Giraffe said,
Oh my friend, how I can help you to come out?
Fox said, Can you lower your neck? It is so long that I can catch hold of it and come out. Giraffe said,
Okay, let me try.
So he lowered his neck into the well, but alas, his neck also could not reach the height where fox can come out. So giraffe went away too. Fox thought about the ideas to come out of the well the whole night. In the morning, there came a goat. Now, Fox thought of an idea and thought of fooling the goat. Fox called the goat and said, Oh, my dear friend goat, hey, how are you? Oh, it is so nice here. Goat was surprised. She asked the fox,
How come that can be nice inside the well? What is so good about it?
Fox said, Oh, my dear goat friend, the water in the well is so sweet. I'm so enjoying it. I don't feel like coming out. The goat got lured away by Fox's lie. She said,
Oh, is that the case? Let me also test the water.
She jumped into the well and had her thirst quenched. After that, even she realized that she got into this well and there is no way out of it. Then Fox suggested to her, Oh, my goat friend, don't worry. I have a great idea. Both of us can get out of here. Goat asked,
Oh, that's great. What is it?
Fox said, Let me climb on your body and jump off the well. And then, once I reach out of the well, I will fetch you out. Poor goat. She believed in Fox and she raised her two legs on the wall of the well, and Fox from the body of the goat jumped off the well. So after the fox came out, he looked down from the top and said,
Oh my dear goat friend, I'm so tiny. I'm not able to reach out to you and fetch you out. Oh my friend, I'm so sorry, but I have to go now.
The liar fox cheated the goat and went away. That is where goat realized that she had to think before she leaped into the well. But for the goat, it was too late, and it was her turn to look for help to come out of the well. Moral of the story is, think before you leap, and not all advices are good for you. The name of the story is The Salt Vendor and His Donkey. In a village, there lived a salt vendor. He used to buy lot of salt from the nearby town, and he would put all the guinea bags of the salt on his donkey's back and would take the salt back to his village. This donkey was very, very lethargic. He did not want to work. He always tried to avoid the work, but the salt vendor will always punish him with the stick and make him work. One day, as the salt vendor was coming back from the nearby village with lot of salt on the back of the donkey, there was a stream that came in between in their way. While they were crossing the stream, donkey slipped and fell into the stream. Because of that, a lot of salt got dissolved in the water, and when donkey got up, he realized that the weight on his back is reduced. That is when he got that idea. So after that incident, every time the salt vendor and the donkey crossed the stream, donkey would deliberately sit down and make the salt on his back dissolve in the water. That way, he had to carry less load. Soon enough, salt vendor realized that the donkey is making this trick deliberately. So one day, instead of the salt, he put a lot of cotton in the guinea bags and put it on the back of the donkey. Donkey was very happy this time because he thought to himself,
Oh, if salt was so heavy and I could reduce it down in the stream, this time the weight is even lighter. Oh, I don't have to carry anything on my back today.
in that happiness, he came to the stream and with his usual trick in the middle of the stream, he sat down in the water. But this time, the result was different. Because of the cotton, water got soaked into the cotton, and cotton, instead of getting dissolved, got heavy. And so when donkey got up, it actually had so much of weight on his back that he was about to just lie down on the floor. But this time, the salt vendor bet him with the rod, and all the way back home, he kept on beating the donkey because he was walking so slow because of the weight. That time, donkey realized that the salt vendor now knows his trick. And he got so much beaten that from that day onwards, he decided not to do any trick whatsoever. So, the moral of the story is, avoiding the work may actually lead to more work and also the beating.
Name of the story is Unity is Strength. Once upon a time, in a village, there lived a farmer. That farmer had 3 sons. They were always quarreling with one another. The farmer tried his level best to bring them to the right path, but they never listened to the farmer and heed his advice. So the farmer felt very worried, and he thought to himself,
How am I going to convince them that if they keep on quarreling, the others would take advantage of them? They have to be together.
One day, he thought of an idea. He called his sons and asked them to bring a few sticks. All three sons went around and brought some wooden sticks with them. When they brought those sticks, he tied them into one bundle, and he gave that bundle to each of the sons. He gave it to the first son and said,
My son, try all your strength and try to break it. Can you do it? Let me see.
First son said to his father,
Oh, father, it is such a simple task. I will break that in 1 minute. You see?
Farmer just smiled away. This first son tried all his strength and power to break the bundle of sticks. But he could not break it at all. Being tired, he gave that bundle back to the farmer. Now, the farmer went to the second son and said,
Son, can you try to break the bundle now?
The son said to his father,
Oh, father, this is so easy. I will break this bundle in just a moment.
Farmer smiled again, and he watched as his second son struggled to break the bundle into pieces. After a while, when the second son realized that he could not break the bundle, he gave it back to the farmer. Now it was time for the third son. Farmer went to his third son and said,
Oh son, can you take a shot at breaking this bundle? Your other two brothers could not break it.
The third son said to his father,
Oh, father, it is so obvious. They could not break it because they are weak. I am so strong. I will break that bundle in a snap of a second.
Farmer smiled again. And as he watched the third son again struggling to break the bundle, he realized that his message is going to get across soon. As the third son could not break the bundle, he gave the bundle back to his father. Now, this time, father broke the bundle and gave one stick each to those three sons and said,
Okay, you tried the bundle. Now can you break the stick?
And before even he finished his sentence, all three sons of the farmer broke the stick immediately. Farmer looked at all three sons. By now, even all three of them realized what their father was telling them. They realized that if they keep on quarreling, they will be not united, and anybody can break them and take advantage of them. But if they unite and work together, they will be so strong like bundle of the sticks that nobody can break their unity, and they will always prosper. The moral of the story is, be united and you will emerge as unbreakable.
The Peacock and the Nightingale.
There was a village called Uttampur. There was a beautiful forest just adjacent to the village. The forest had wide variety of trees, birds, animals, fruits, flowers, and all the birds and animals moved very freely in the forest. It was a beautiful sight. There lived a peacock in that forest. That peacock had a beautiful body and even more beautiful feathers. Peacock would dance merrily, happily in the rainy seasons. It was one fine day during the rainy season, and as usual, Peacock was dancing very happily in the forest. Suddenly, Peacock thought of singing. So it started singing with its voice. To its dismay, it realized that his voice was not as beautiful as its body. It was very shrill. That is when Peacock realized that God did not give it the beautiful voice along with its beautiful body. It felt very sad, and tears rolled down from its eyes. There also lived a nightingale in the same forest. Nightingale came to this peacock and asked it,
Hey, my friend, what happened to you? Why are you crying? Why are you sad?
Peacock said to Nightingale,
Oh dear Nightingale, I don't know how to tell you, but I have such a beautiful body, but I don't have the beautiful voice.
So what, my friend? You have such a beautiful feathers and a body that itself is enough.
No, my dear Nightingale, I wished I also had beautiful voice the way you have.
Oh, Peacock, you think that I am lucky to have beautiful voice? But you know what? When people listen to my voice and they try to find me, and when they find me, they look at a tiny bird which does not look beautiful as much as it sounds beautiful, and they get disappointed. Now you think about it, my friend. Although I have a beautiful voice, I don't have the beautiful body like you. But every day, I sing merrily and happily, and actually I thank God to have given me such a beautiful voice. And I don't complain at all that I don't have the beautiful body as you have.
Peacock thought for a minute, and then it realized Nightingale was right. It should not complain about the bad voice, but it should always thank God for the most gorgeous body that God has given it. From that day onwards, Peacock never complained about its voice, and as usual danced very happily and merrily, spreading its feathers on the rainy days. Moral of the story: thank God for what you have and don't complain for what you don't.